Midway, which is a retelling of the story of the Pacific Battle, previously been documented by John Ford and then, of course, dramatised in the 70s in a sense-around version. This stars the very likeable Ed Skrein as Maverick Air Race Dick Best, who chews gum, breaks the rules, and generally does daredevil things. He doesn't play by the rules. He's a bit of a loose cannon, as his wife understands all too well, but sometimes the authorities don't.
Wade, have you met Anne?
Wade McCluskey. I fly with your husband.
Hey, you want a drink?
I do, if you want me to dance. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How long have you been married?
Long enough to know my husband's talents. Why isn't he commanding a squadron?
Well, I don't make those decisions.
2 Muay Thai.
Yes, sir.
I understand before the war when it was about politics, but now?
I told you she was a firecracker.
I have to say, I often wondered what kind of woman would marry Dick Best, and, well, you have not disappointed.
Yes, the screenplay by Western. No, it's...
That pause spoke volumes.
Did it? Okay, fine. I mean,
Emma Barnett had an interview this week with a 12.5-second gap between question and answer. And again, that gap was very, very revealing. And the gap between the end of that clip and you saying anything told us all we need to know.
Yeah, I mean, the script is terrible. I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, I know that it's based on real events and all the rest of it, but there is a moment when somebody has to say, men like Dick Best are the reason we're going to win this war. You really, that you actually have a character saying something as rampantly cliched as that out loud in the middle of this film. So the screenplay is terrible. And it's directed by Roland Emmerich, who, as we know, has never been one for understatement. And there was a moment in the middle of this when I longed for the erudition and low-key wordplay of Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor. Wow. Because it really, it's like it's waving Pearl Harbor bye-bye in the rearview mirror when it comes to bombast. It's like, no, fine, So we start with those events and then we move to this event. And the story of Midway is kind of famously well rehearsed, and we all know that obviously Roland Emmerich knows how to orchestrate an action sequence, and so clearly with up to the minute special effects, the dogfights are spectacular, and it does put you in mind of the extraordinary danger and bravery and heroism of everyone actually involved in the battle. And the film makes a kind of half-hearted attempt to be sort of to see the thing from both sides and to appreciate that actually it's not just, flag waving, straightforward stuff. But then it chucks all that out. As soon as people open their mouths and start talking, it's like somebody just ripped some 1940s comic book and took that and there we go, just put those. And the problem with it is that there are some very good. I like Ed Skrein. I think he's fun. I like Woody Harrelson. I like Luke Evans. I like Aaron Eckhart. The supporting cast all seem to be playing a game of wiggy hair, which is, I'll just adjust my wig and I'll experiment with some sort of facial hair and I'll just stand in the background. And if this scenery wasn't digital, I would be chewing a large chunk out of it. But unfortunately, most of it is put in afterwards. And there are, characters who turn up and they do a lot of, the thing you said about silence. There's a lot of moments when, but the thing about Ed Skrein's character is we know who he is because he chews gum. That's it. Chews gum.
Doesn't none of the others chew gum?
No, he chews gum. That's his thing. That's the thing that he does. He chews gum.
Okay.
And yeah, there we go.
That's it.
And another character has a moustache. That's his character. He's got a moustache.
Is that Luke Evans?
Yeah, he's got a moustache.
I was talking to him today. He's got an album out.
Great. The album isn't in the film.
He's also singing on the Strictly Come Dancing show.
I think he's great. But the problem is that when you give somebody a phone book of a script to read and go, say that line and keep a straight face and don't worry, we're going to put the dogfights in afterwards. I'm not kidding when I say this. It genuinely made Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor look like somebody had sat down and said, how can we make this a thoughtful? In fact, funnily enough, the poster even looks like the poster for Pearl Harbor. And as I was watching it, and believe me, Pearl Harbor is a terrible film.
It is.
And
It's a shocker.
Yeah, and I will go to my grave having tried to be kind about Pearl Harbor, because I was one of the people who, when Pearl Harbor came out, I said it's not that bad. I don't know why. I don't know.
And is it?
Some Pearl Harbor?
Yes.
Terrible.
Just checking. Absolutely
Terrible. I think, with the exception of that one sequence that follows the bomb out of the plane, yes, it's terrible. But this, I thought, I should go back and reassess Pearl Harbor, because in comparison, this is just like in a whole different league.
Did Roland Emmerich do The Day After Tomorrow or the day before?
The most important thing is that he blew up the White House in Independence Day, and so essentially, bombast he's
Mr. Bombastic.
He's Mr. Bombastic, but he's not very fantastic. Although Jason Isaac speaks very highly of him, so there we go.